right, we're talking lies this half hour. And also in this hour, we have our final contest, final giveaway. This will be another Paisano's Pizza. We'll give you a $25 gift card. Here's the line, though. Give me a hot Paisanos, all right? Let's just do that as the prize-winning phrase to remember. Give me a hot Paisanos. Later this hour, not yet, we will have a contest, and I'll tell you when, and I'll give you the contest line to call. All right, now this should be fun. Wives and ladies, what lies do you tell? We all, I think, male or female, tell shadings of the truth. We probably learned that in our childhood years, but are some lies more commonly heard from the lips of women? Our two regulars for this segment are Drs. Amy Brodsky and Michelle Epstein. Dr. Amy is a board-certified dermatologist. Her practice is the derm. She's got an office in Glenview and a new one in Park Ridge. And Dr. Michelle has a doctorate in clinical psychology. They also have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Chicago Doctors. Our number, and this is the topic of the moment, lies. What about them? Do you think women tell more lies, different lies than men? 312-981-7200. The nature of why women lie. Ladies, good to have you aboard. Dr. Amy.
Great to be here.
Do you lie? Your husband is listening right now. What do you have to say?
Bill, you cannot start out this segment asking
It's
me
my
that.
show. I can start it any way I want.
Only when I have to. No. I lie for my friends, but not about myself. Of course not. Why would I ever do that?
Dr. Michelle.
Yes.
What about lying? What is it that you do that maybe isn't true? Now, I think the word lying is loaded. It's like it's a punch. It's too damning. It's too negative. I wish there was another word. Maybe there is. I just can't think of it right now. But do you shade, let's say, the truth on occasion?
Fibbing, fudging the truth, Yeah, of course. I think that we all do it.
Yeah, I admit it. Absolutely.
Of many different relationships and for lots of different reasons. And sometimes it's benign. You want to please or you want to flatter or you don't want to hurt feelings. And sometimes it's a little more devious because you want to control situations or manipulate things to get your way.
There are obviously degrees of lying.
Yes.
Dr. Amy, obviously I'm going to name names, but I assume in your practice you have people who are coming because they don't feel good about themselves sometimes.
I am in the business of making sure people do not give away their lies. I would say the number one thing that I see in my practice, which I think is so interesting, and I really don't get involved, and what happens in my office stays in my office, but patients will come in for Botox, they'll come in for fillers. They don't want their husbands to know. They will do some interesting creative financing. They'll be doing checks and cash, and my favorite one
Bringing
is
you soup every day for 2 years.
Bread. No, what they do is they go to the grocery store. This is so interesting, and they buy like a Visa gift card because it's quote the grocery money for the week, and then they pay for their services through the Visa gift card. I don't really care what they do.
Now, are they doing this because they want to create the illusion that nature has just smiled on them all these years, and that they aren't using supplementary means to create a certain look?
I have intensely studied this. I poll all my patients, just curious, why do they do that? And I've found that there's definitely a group of people that feel guilty because maybe they're not working, and so they feel like they're spending money fruitlessly and perhaps it's not their money, quote unquote. But I really think that there's a much larger psychology behind this, and that is that they married their husbands and the husbands accepted them for how they were. And now why are they all of a sudden trying to change the way they look? What's going on in their mind? Are they unhappy with their marriage? Are they unhappy with themselves?
Or is the husband giving off some sounds about, honey, you just don't look the way you
or
did.
Or maybe you don't look as good as my girlfriend looks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be interested to hear about what Michelle says.
A lot of it is insecurity based in this topic.
Certainly the sneaking behind the back in terms of modifications you're making to yourself, I think it's twofold. It is definitely about wanting your husband to look at you and have the wow factor without feeling like he's thinking, oh, she's had work done. And then there is the financial piece. I think financial infidelity is a big one.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, spending money that perhaps you haven't allocated as a couple for certain things, whether it's spending money on enhancements for yourself, whether it's spending money on gifts or charity or things you buy for the children. And perhaps you have a budget in the family. You've talked about it.
Arlene, is that why you spend? You say you have something about buying things. Do you lie about that?
That's not really lying. He'll just ask, is that new? And I'll say, no, I've had it a long time. I just don't want to, tell him I
Why don't you
spent
tell
more
him
money
it's
on it.
new? So what? Why are you afraid?
Did you tell him it was on sale?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to always say it's on sale.
And how does
Yeah,
he
but that's
respond?
What does he
That's
say when
later
you?
on.
What does he say?
That's later on. I don't tell him right off the bat. I tell him it's old, and then later on he'll say, "Why don't you wear that one?" I said, "Well, I got that one on sale, and it isn't really great."
You have to wait until you get the tags off until you tell him the truth.
Right.
You got that right. It gets hidden in the.
Arlene, thanks so much. Beth, same thing for you. You're on WGN.
Yeah, hi. I love your show. I think it's
Thanks.
great. Love the doctors.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do white lies about clothes purchases and fillers, all kinds of things. So
Why do you do it, Beth?
I don't know. It's just my little secret. I don't think it's doing anything wrong. I think it's, if I want to go and purchase things, I think I should be
But
able
Beth-
to, and I don't want to make a big deal of it.
Come on, Beth. You lie about other things than that. We don't know who you are, right?
Right.
Sure, yeah.
Sure, little
I
white.
probably do.
So, Beth, I have a question for you. If you lied about your fillers, do you want your husband to notice that you've had something done, or do you not want him to notice, or do you get upset that he notices nothing about you and he never notices if you look good or not?
No, I just don't want to make an issue of it. I guess it doesn't, I don't want him to notice one way or another. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You want to be
Probably not.
neutral. You want to look good for yourself, but you don't want it to look too good for him to question why.
Beth, thanks for calling.
Exactly.
Hey, Ellen, you're on WGN. Welcome. Calling Ellen.
Hi.
Hi.
What do you lie about, Ellen?
Oh, well, I lied because it was my birthday once upon a time, and I didn't get a present. And so I just told my husband I'm going out for a walk or whatever, and I went out and bought myself some diamond earring studs.
And you put it on his credit card.
I sure did.
Yeah.
I would call that teaching him a lesson.
Not lying, teaching him a lesson. Did you tell him about it later?
Oh, I did. And he said, good for you. And if I would have known, I would have bought bigger studs.
Oh,
Great.
Yeah, next time, next birthday.
Let's talk about sex, though. Not you, Ellen, but
Thanks,
we'll
Ellen.
we'll get a new caller.
unless you want to.
Does anybody ever lie about sex?
Well,
you
I
know?
think don't men have an issue with that as
Oh.
far as their prowess and size and endurance and all these kinds of things? I
Well,
mean, that's I mean, do women? What is there?
Well, we lie about size not mattering, shape not mattering,
how about when Harry met Sally?
orgasms. Yep.
The fake orgasm.
Oh yes.
There's no
we want to get it
question.
over with.
Well, and men need stroking, and I don't mean that literally. We need to make them feel good. And I think that actually can enhance the experience for both of you. If you're both feeling comfortable and feeling like you're effective, it adds
Well,
to it.
self-consciousness. Yeah, that's the
That's
worst thing
the
to be
killer,
feeling. Yeah.
for sure.
312-981-7200, what women lie about. I did bring up some of the things that men lie about, but what are some of the other kinds of lies that you typically only hear from women? Do women lie to each other?
Yes. A lot of women don't say what they're doing to their faces. They want to it's kind of like taboo. There's some women that love to tell their friends what they're doing to their skin and their faces. There's other women that just want to pretend they're, quote, natural.
Well, and women are notorious for lying about their feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Men don't really want to talk about their feelings. And women, a lot of times we lie about our feelings. We say things don't matter that do. And I also think that we lie about past relationships or ongoing relationships with past exes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
So
right.
friendships, and in the day and age of social media and Facebook, there's a lot more of that reconnection going on. And I think that there are a lot of women out there maybe stretching the truth of those contacts, which can be a slippery
So
slope.
old flames that otherwise had gone dormant somehow
Yes.
pops a connection on Facebook,
Yes.
and you rekindle something there, and maybe somebody says something maybe a little not appropriate.
Flirtatious.
Yeah, and
Definitely. And 20 years ago, when we didn't have Facebook, people kind of drifted off at the map, and you didn't reconnect.
but sometimes when
Now
they
it's
when they
easy.
reconnect, they're living in another state, and maybe they think, hey, this is safe. It's not like I'm going to
Right.
see her again,
And it's
just a
comfortable
little-
because you have a past.
and it's nice to be flattered.
And it's a little, if it's just an email, if it becomes more than an email or a phone call. I sometimes lie for my friends, though. I mean, I don't really want my husband to see my friends in a bad light. So if, they tell me something and I don't really want, him to know about it, I don't not tell him. I just, I want to put them in the good light.
Mind and body, is that kind of what we're calling this segment?
This is mind and body.
With Dr. Michelle and Dr. Amy, we'll continue with our conversation, and we've got some callers we'll take, and we've got room for you, too. If you've got an opinion about why, and we're saying why women lie, either give us a call at 312-981-7200, or if you prefer, text us. You don't have to give a name, and I'm certainly not going to call your phone number on the air, and our text number is 24720. I'm Bill Moller. This is 720 WGN. Yeah, we're talking with Dr. Amy Brodsky and Dr. Michelle Epstein about, well, this topic this week is about the lies that women tell. They're with us each Saturday at this time, and we'll see you not next week because we're doing a special show, but 2 weeks from now. Right? You're both here for then? Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's talk to Adam. Hello, Adam. You're on WGN. What is your question or comment?
Hi, how are you? Well, this is pretty interesting because I had just spoke with my wife about it, why people lie, and I wanted to get a doctor's opinion on that, just to get behind it. Why do people lie?
Why do you think? Come on, Adam. You got to
Ooh.
offer an...
Give us one reason.
Yeah, what, Adam?
If you ask me, because of fear. This goes
Yes.
back to childhood, that people are afraid to tell the truth because of the consequences that are involved in any particular situation.
Being too blunt, telling the truth can be a hurtful, harmful thing in many
Absolutely.
cases.
We're trying to spare your feelings. We're trying to flatter you. We're trying to be a bit more kind. And also we're trying to avoid awkwardness or embarrassment and also possibly getting in trouble
Well, right. Who wants
Yeah.
to get scolded by their husband for behavior?
or their way.
Right? You nicked the car. You pulled into a spot. You nicked the car. You tell your husband and he blows up. You kind of learn to not tell him those things to maybe avoid conflict.
And you just don't want to be blunt sometimes, Adam. Hi, honey. I think that dress, you just look, that's very ugly. I would never buy that. I know you say it's your favorite dress, but I just think you look gross in that. I mean,
Does this make my butt look big?
and you say,
I
yeah.
don't want to know if my butt looks big.
You don't?
I don't.
I think there are women who would like to know
Dr.
that.
Michelle sounds like she would like to know if her
All
butt
right,
was
I'd
too
like
you
to
big.
know
next
that
time.
before I head out the door.
Adam, thanks for your call.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, he's probably going to go back and have another conversation with his wife to talk it through some more. But that's the point, is that, lying maybe isn't the right word. It's being less than fully truthful because those people who are blunt.
Yep.
You don't want to be around them sometimes.
Sometimes people are too blunt. I think it's okay for white lies. The question is when white lies become black lies. So I'd like to get some callers of people who their white lies have turned into black lies.
Here's one text I got. It says, I do as I please and he does not ask me. I lie because my husband is controlling and emotionally abusive.
That seems like there's a lot more going on than
Maybe
just...
she should call the person that was on before us, the marriage counselor. Anita.
Men lie all the time over stupid stuff and big items. I don't know what she wanted to say. My wife, well, this is pretty frank stuff, and I understand why they're not texting us. He says,
Not calling.
my wife had an affair with an ex that she met up with on Facebook. I found out about it and confronted her. We started seeing a marriage counselor. She quit after her alcoholism came to light, and, what can I do? I mean, it can be a can of worms sometimes.
Well, those are serious issues, but I think it demonstrates that slippery slope. When you're first talking to an ex on Facebook, it might be a little fib or a white lie, but those white lies and fibs can build up and turn into dark secrets.
So what would you do, though? Would you say break off that relationship, not even start it? If somebody approaches you on Facebook that was once romantically involved with you, would you go to the spouse and say, hey, look, I just want you to know that so-and-so who I dated 40 years ago found me, and I know I'm not doing anything, but I just wanted you to know that we communicate once in a while?
Yeah, I think that honesty is important. I don't think you have to report into your spouse every time you exchange an email with an ex or a male friend, but you have to have some judgment and maybe putting yourself in your spouse's shoes and thinking if they were doing that, how would you feel about
Dr. Amy,
it?
I think that's good advice.
I do. I think
Empathy.
this brings up a whole new topic that I think